Exactly what the heck do you think you're doing? Hey. Oh my goodness. Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Are you gonna stay up there for the duration of the video? Are you gonna just be up there? Can you sit down? Can you sit? As you guys can see, I am sitting in front of this very aesthetic background, which is a bunch of moving boxes that Milo decided to climb on. He's so cute though, look at him. Yeah, I'm getting the new keys to my place in like a week and a half, and the rest of my apartment is in a state. So I just decided to sit down here and film this video for you guys because today I'm just talking through some stuff with y'all. Obviously it's been a minute since I Careful. Come here, honey. Obviously it's been a minute since I posted a new video, and actually this is now my third attempt at posting a new YouTube video. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of sit down and chat with you guys and explain why and what's been going on with me. So as I said, this is my third attempt at a new video. The first one I did actually was one of my bucket list poster challenge things, and that was to eat junk food for a whole weekend, which I thought was going to be super fun. But already even that weekend I was already having a bit of a rough time, just like wasn't in the best mental state, and then quickly realized that eating a bunch of shit whenever you're already not feeling good about yourself only makes the problem worse. Kind of went through that, and then I thought about refilming the video, but at the time I was thinking it'd be more useful if I kind of made a video similar to this one where I just talk through, what are you eating? What's in your mouth? Seriously, can't get anything done with him. I see you eating that. Anyways, where was I at? Yeah, I filmed a video kind of like this one where I was just talking through why I felt like shit, because I thought that would be more insightful than just giving you guys a video of me stuffing things in my face. You're irritating me that I can see you chewing on that. Oh, what is that? It looks like a stick. He's been bringing sticks from outside. As long as you're chewing and not swallowing, good, thank you. All right, he left it alone. So yeah, the second video that I created, hi baby, I tried to just kind of sit and talk about why I was experiencing those bad feelings, but I knew it was going to be a rambly video, and for some reason when I went to edit that video, I think I got like 5 minutes into the footage and I just felt like shit about myself. The video wasn't making sense because I didn't prepare for it. I literally just sat down and turned the camera on, and obviously I'm not that good at this yet to where I can do that. I need to have more of like an outline of what I'm going to talk about. And while I was editing it, to be honest, I just had like a lot of dark thoughts come up, and the main one was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, why are you even on YouTube? Why are you making videos? No one gives a shit. You have nothing to offer. This is pointless. Nobody wants to watch this. And like basically just feelings of worthlessness. Like that's the voice that I get in my head sometimes, that's just literally telling me like, you are worthless. You have nothing to give to anyone. Like, what are you even doing? And that feeling just hit a little too hard in the moment when I was editing that second video. And to be honest, like I broke down and just started crying because, you know, anytime you're trying something new, of course you're gonna have moments of self-doubt, and like things are difficult when you're just figuring stuff out. But when you have feelings that are that dark and like your own mind turns on you to even say like you're worthless and basically like a piece of shit, that's really hard to deal with. And the reason I'm telling you guys this is not to like get empathy or pity or for people to like hype me up. This is a feeling I've been dealing with for a long time, and this is a feeling that I've been dealing with for a long time, and I suspect that a lot of you probably have felt this way at least once in your life. I know deep down that I'm not worthless. I know that I have some purpose. I just haven't figured out exactly what that is yet, and so that becomes like a place of stress and unhappiness for me. So yeah, I don't have anything to offer you. I don't have, you know, mastery of any skills that I can teach you how to do something cool. And I don't think I'm super charismatic, and I don't have like a lifetime of wisdom to share with you guys. The only thing that I can give to you really is just a voice that says that if you feel like shit about yourself sometimes, Hey, I'm trying to be deep here. Could you stop? We're talking about our feelings, Milo. What'd you lose? Yeah, what I have to offer you guys is a voice that says, if you've also felt like shit about yourself, and if you also have a little voice in your head that sometimes tell you that you're a piece of shit or that you're worthless, me too. I feel it too. It's an ongoing battle I think a lot of people are gonna face. But I wanted to talk to you guys today about kind of how I'm dealing with that. And the first step that I find helpful is just sitting with those feelings. In that moment, I just turned my computer off. I let myself cry for a bit. And then I started thinking like, okay, where are these feelings coming from? Because it's not that I actually have a belief that I'm worthless. The feeling comes from, I want to be doing something of what I feel is a higher purpose, right? I don't feel fulfilled in my 9-to-5, my corporate job. I want to be doing something more meaningful that I feel like impacts people in a way that I'm able to. I'm not saying that a corporate job is not meaningful, because there are people that I work with who have been at that job for like 15, 20 years and like love what they do and they're good at it and they do help people. I think for me, like, it's just not my calling. And I know a lot of people feel that way. So of course that's where those feelings come from. If you're not living your life consistent with what you feel like you should be doing or what makes you truly happy, then yeah, you're gonna have these feelings come up. And I think that's a part of just understanding that if it's not that, ow, ow, he bit me. You know, if it's not that problem, you're probably gonna have other problems in life. I think everything ebbs and flows. And I'm feeling down for really any reason, I do just sit with that feeling. It's trying to tell you something. And I think it's really dangerous when we get to a place where we only want to be happy. We only want to be on those high highs. And we're so scared of those low lows or even just the mundane, the middle road. But if you're always chasing high highs, eventually that is going to become your new baseline, right? And so then even just something that for most people is middle of the road, average daily life, you're gonna feel like shit. You're gonna feel like that's awful because you're always chasing the high. And then when you do go into the valley, that's gonna be really dark. So I try to understand that most of my life is gonna be in the middle. I'm sorry, we took a nap earlier and he's like super freaking hyped up. So yeah, I try to just understand that most of my life is gonna be in that middle of the road, just mundane daily life, and just enjoy the high highs while they're there. But then you also have to respect the low lows. It all comes together, you can't avoid it, so you might as well learn how to deal with it all. So lastly, I just wanted to tell you guys kind of how I'm dealing with these feelings that I'm having. It is, as I said, going to be an ongoing thing, but there are some things that I'm focusing on right now to get me to a better place. When I started this channel, I thought that it was going to be all about going out and having more fun in life, and still want to do that, but because of some other reasons that I haven't talked about yet, but that's going to be for another video, and due to this, I feel like, at least in the beginning, a lot of this channel is probably going to be me just documenting that purpose. Still going to try to mix in some of those bucket list items because I do think I can still have fun while I'm tackling the great question of my life's purpose. But some things that I'm doing to kind of help me on that. First and foremost, I am somebody who has a lot of interests. I get interested in something and I do it for like a few weeks, and then something else catches my eye, and then I'm on to doing that. And for a long time, I didn't criticize myself for that because I do think that it's good to go out and gain different skills. Although I think it's good to have lots of hobbies to keep myself busy, I know that I need to kind of settle down into like one or two things and just try to learn them as best I can. Instead of just getting like a surface level knowledge and then moving on to something else. Because maybe something that I've already done before could be my greater purpose and could be the talent that I'm sharing with other people, but I've just never stuck with anything long enough to get to that point. So that's one thing. I need to get more focused on a fewer amount of things. So still working on what those things are going to be. But if you're someone like me who is kind of always like switching between things, I think especially when you're younger, that's fine. But if you're always thinking to yourself like, I have no purpose, I have nothing of value to share, like, it's probably because you haven't really taken the time to master something. Like, there's so much stuff coming at us all the time that we can be interested in. But if you look at people who are making money off of certain skills or like creative ideas that they have, they've spent a long time working on these things, and they've studied and they've practiced and have now been able to run this business themselves because they put in the hours to become masters in this area. So as much as I've had fun just jumping around learning things, I know that it's a bit naive of me to say that just because I enjoy something and I do it here and there, that I'm all of a sudden going to be good enough that I can somehow make money off this skill that I'm not even very skilled at, if that makes sense. So that's a personal problem that I'm working through. 2 more things. So this is going to sound a little like woo-woo. It's very like cliche self-help. I've never been someone that personally believes in like having a mantra for myself or like manifesting or talking things into existence. Like, it sounds really good when I hear somebody talking about it, and then I just never follow through with it because I feel a bit ridiculous whenever I'm doing that myself. But I think one of the things that has resonated with me the most that I've heard people say over and over again is, if you want to be X type of person, you have to be doing the type of things that that type of person does, right? Like, if you want to be an athlete, you don't skip workouts and eat junk food every day and cut your workouts short. If you want to be an athlete, you go do things that athletes do until you've put enough time to where you've realized that goal. So there are some areas in my life that, obviously, as I said, I want to like master a skill, but there are some areas in my life that I feel could complement these goals that I have for myself. Because if I'm honest, when I'm feeling down, it gets really easy to like just come home and watch Netflix, and it's really easy to just let my clean clothes sit in the clean clothes basket all week. And these things might seem harmless, but when you're doing them day in and day out, you know, you're just being entertained and not learning new skills, and you're letting your space around you get cluttered. I think these things ultimately have an impact on your mental state. It puts you in the mindset of minimal effort, of just taking the easy way out, and that's not what I want to do in my life anymore. So I came up with 4 statements that I'm gonna say to myself every day in the mirror when I'm getting ready in the morning. I wrote them down. Let me go grab that actually. Okay, so on this little board, I have my 4 statements of the type of person who I want to be and who I know I can be. And so every day I'm going to tell myself that I am a person who is good with money. That is one thing that I'm going to talk about in a later video. About how horrible I am with money. So that's going to be an interesting video. The second one is loves physical activity and healthy food. I put physical activity and not just working out because I think before in my life, working out was like hitting the gym to get the gains and to look good, like physically. And while I still think that's a goal of mine, and I do think it's important to feel confident in your body, I want to embrace physical activity even on those days where I'm not feeling like crushing my workouts. Like if I just go out for a walk, like doing something a bit more productive for my health doesn't always have to mean like killing my body in the gym. I want to embrace all types of physical activity. The third one is I'm a person who is creative. Creativity is something that is really important to me because before I got into photography, I never considered myself someone who was creative. And when I kind of unlocked that potential, I don't think I'm like the most creative person out there, but going from someone who had no creative endeavors at all to getting into photography, learning that I actually can paint and draw a little bit. Milo, stop that. It's just nice. It's a good outlet. It's a good balance to your life. And then lastly, oh, he's being a menace. Lastly, I'm a person who values a clean and beautiful space. As I mentioned, I am moving, which is really exciting. And whenever I moved into this place, I really thought that this place was going to be almost like a photography studio for me. I wanted to design it to be like an Airbnb. I thought, you know, there was going to be no clutter. It was going to be at all times. Every piece of it was going to be like photogenic. And this space that I'm in, it's a 600 square foot apartment, so it's tiny. Something about this space is like really, it's just not conducive to my creative energy. I don't know what it is exactly, but yeah, I just feel cramped in here. I don't feel like it's like beautiful and clean. I don't feel like I have too many things, but in such a small space, it's like impossible not to feel crammed in and cluttered. And that does affect my mental state too. So in the new place, I just want to set the intention of having clean spaces, having it be beautiful, and really kind of parsing down my life and getting rid of anything that doesn't inspire me to create things. And that's my last point. So I was watching a video from this lady who I cannot remember her name. I'll try to put her on the screen here if I can find her YouTube channel, but she has a lot of good, quick and easy to digest like financial videos. And one of the things that she talked about while she was trying to save money was that she was trying to look at her time in kind of two different buckets. So one was consumption and one was production. How much of her time and what she was doing was she producing something, and how much was she just consuming? So I think for me, as I kind of mentioned earlier, you know, coming home and just watching Netflix, that is a very consumptive act. You're just consuming entertainment mindlessly. And I think production doesn't necessarily have to be something that like you're creating things that you can sell or anything like that. I think even just instead of laying on the couch and watching Netflix, cooking a healthy meal, that's producing something that's gonna ultimately make me feel better about myself. So I'm really trying to focus on that and be more mindful about, you know, whatever this thing is that I'm doing, however I'm choosing to spend my time. Am I producing something like a YouTube video, or am I just mindlessly consuming whatever's like the path of least resistance? So those are the things that I'm doing to try to better my mental state, fighting these feelings of being worthless. I think it sucks. And as I said before, if you feel this way, I feel you. I know that it's hard. Sit with those feelings for like a day, really understand the root of what those feelings are telling you, and then come up with an action plan that will directly oppose those thoughts in your mind. Anyways, I hope that's been helpful. If you guys have felt this way too, and if you'd be up to sharing and kind of telling me, you know, if you felt this way in your life before and you've overcome it, maybe you're one of those people that has that story where you were like hopeless and depressed and you worked through it and now your life is like full of meaning, you're doing the thing you always wanted to be doing. I would love to hear those success stories. If you're like me and you're still kind of in your early phases where you're still feeling lost and you want to just vent and talk about that, I would love to read about that as well. But for now, thank you guys so much for joining me. I will keep you guys updated. I'll probably do a separate video for the move and show you all the new place. But until then, you guys have a good one and I'll see you next time. Bye. I forgot where I'm at. I don't know how to, okay.